What was it about film and film music in particular that drew you in? Was it a particular composer or set of composers?
I think it's first the magic of cinema, which is keeping you in childhood somehow, because you're being told stories, you know, each time you go to watch a movie. And these moments where suddenly the sound was overwhelmed by music, and I could hear that some of these music were very good. They were very special and very sophisticated sometimes, and very different depending on the film. It could be jazz, it could be choir, it could be orchestra, it could be anything. Chamber music, and they were. It was a world of sound that I couldn't find in classical music because it was, it is classical music. It's limited to something, and I guess I wanted to expand. And when you compose, and you compose for films, you record. So when you record, you can have any instrument in a studio that you want to try. It could be bells, it could be an African kora, it could be anything, harp, you know, anything. And there was a world incredibly rich that many composers influenced, and because I could feel that the composers had brought to these movies a texture, a color, and a voice that was not in the film. Alex North, Bernard Herrmann, Delerue, Maurice Jarre, Williams, Goldsmith, so many of them, and we can go back to Steiner and Newman, of course, but and Nino Rota, and I was then trying to find them, to buy them. You know, at the time it was vinyls. Some of them you couldn't find. I had to find them in rare records, sometimes in America, or there was no internet to find whatever treasure you would like to find. So I would start collect soundtracks, and I realized that I was listening to them all the time. I could listen to the music of a film, which is very strange. I like watching the film, but I also like listening to the music. And I think that's it, where it all began, merging these two pleasures that I had, playing, you know, and listening to music and watching movies. I always try to find in the storyline something that could, you know, sparkle, a little sparkle that could light a little bulb in my head and think, oh, this thing belongs to this movie only. What can I find to convey that musically? In The Shape of Water, it's the sensation of warm water and impossible love. In Girl with the Pearl Earring, it was silence and light. And yes, each movie has its own secret that the music has to unveil.
Okay, and now you're off to the BAFTA, so we wish you very well with that.
Thank you.
Are awards, you've won enough. Are they important to you? Do they mean something special for you?
They do because then projects come to you in a different way. That's the good way, you know, because people listen to your music. You know, if you can make 10 movies, if 9 of them have no success, nobody will hear your music. But if one has success, and if you're awarded, that suddenly you exist somehow more. So it is, yeah, it's great, and it's our peers, you know, it's people of cinema who are voters. So it's very, yes, of course, it's very nice.
Well,
and it's nice on the chimney.
Yes,
I know, on the fireplace.
On the fireplace, yes.
On the fireplace, I mean, sorry.
On the mantelpiece.
On the mantelpiece.
I'm forgetting my own English.
You see, on the mantelpiece.
Merci.
Exactly. Merci.